Hey everyone, welcome to another video, and this one will be the max damage for the Styx Crusade boss. So this is the team that is the highest damage that I could make. I don't think I can improve it anymore with the current units we have, which you'll see why at the end of the actual run. But this is the setup I'm using. You'll notice that Aveli is not used. I just couldn't work her in to do like a max damage run. Her timing is a little off because you want to reduce her health, right? To proc her EX, but the boss takes multiple turns to kill. I guess it's mostly because we're using Charlissa. In teams where you could run a Belina, Belina tends to do quite a lot of damage, and you can generally 2 or 3 shot the boss, which makes it a lot easier to time Aveli's hit. But because Charlissa needs like a few rounds to actually kill the boss, you can't. It's really hard to proc Aveli's EX on like the last turn where you would need her to proc her EX. Zhaowu is a little easier because it seems to proc with 2, even though its skill description says there needs to be more than 2 units dead, but seems to work with 2 dead, I think. So that is good enough. Now the rest is sort of pretty stock standard. I want to make note that on like a unit per unit basis, Maybell is very similar to Tina, right? So I'm using Tina. I tried with Maybell, but Maybell is actually too strong for this run. If you have a lower ranked Zhaowu, mine's rank 10, right? If you run a lower ranked Zhaowu, you can run Maybell, and that will maximize your damage. But because I'm running a rank 10 Zhaowu, I can only use a Tina instead. I did test it, and I found that this combination is better and gets closer to the max possible damage. Now the rest, yeah, there's not too much to say here. Like they're just the usual buffers. We've got Fleur, we've got Franca, Tina, and Transcendant Illya. They're all like all of the standard damage buffers, and also Zhaowu, of course. So for the tanks, we have Farnese. Farnese is the second unit in the row, so the boss will always target Farnese, except for the first turn, right? On the first turn, because Farnese is not taunting yet, Nastya will get hit first, and that will kill off the Skaadi. So the Skaadi unit, or the unit in the Skaadi's position, it can be anything, right? I did try to test using some other units to try to like poke a little extra damage, but it was actually too much. So I just put a sacrificial unit there to count as one of the deaths that are needed for Zhaowu's EX, and then Nastya lives long enough such that Zhaowu will only use her EX right at the end, which is ideally what you want to do, right? And then until then, the boss will hit Farnese and splash onto Nastya, and then that will eventually kill Nastya. And the EX from the boss will always hit Farnese since she's the second in the middle row. And that is pretty much it for all the units. So let's start the run, and then I can just point out some of the things that are happening. So Illya, she's just here for the buff. She does like a little bit of chip damage, so she does have damage cores, but it's very minimal. Right? Like it does allow me to get like very close to the max damage. But you don't actually need the cores on her. But you may as well if you're not like overkilling the boss, right? Okay, so you see Nastya's getting chipped away. Farnese will survive like all the attacks with max health, so you don't really need a buff. But because I need something to target with my Fleur to splash onto the Charlissa, she targets the Farnese. The armor doesn't do anything anyway, because the boss will do true damage, so it's not too relevant for Farnese's survivability at least. Okay, so now the boss will be proccing the EX, and then we get one more hit. And because Farnese is not the first unit to attack, on the following round I will get the first turn, right? So you can see here that did most of the health, and then Illya is going to chip away most of this. You'll see it will be very, very, very close. Yep, 27 health, and then we overkill with Charlissa with all the other buffs, and Zhaowu was last to move on the previous round, so the buff carries over and lasts for the rest of this round to do damage, right? So this is the final score. And one of the good things about this run in particular is that it is very consistent, or it is perfectly consistent. As you can see, all of my attacks did the same amount of damage, so that's very good. You don't have to worry about any volatile RNG screwing up your scores. So I like this boss. It was a decent challenge to figure out the optimal damage that I could do for my team. And yeah, don't have to worry about any like randomness in the scores. Alright, so that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.